Okay,
Like,
and
everyone
we're
was
back.
like, "You're not."
How we all doing? Sorry.
Eldenesh is tired, cold, afraid that
Eldenesh
he's
has
going
been
to get eaten.
complaining about Rogar and his taste for human flesh.
I think Rogar wants to. I think Rogar the Barbarian wants to eat me.
Now,
I
Rogar's
why?
just
tried
like-
feeding him some of my rations to keep him calm, but I'm concerned.
What?
Rogar's like, the entire place is terrible. It's like the sorcerer went out for a piss and never came back. I heard a crunch, and there's nobody there now.
Yeah, I think Rogar ate the sorcerer, whose name I completely forgot.
Fun. All right. So, if memory serves correctly, last session you all started almost in two separate areas. The party originally started over in Daggerford on the Sword Coast, where you all met with Lady the Duchess,
The Duchess.
who was your all's benefactor / friend / what have you. And from there, you all were tasked by the Duchess to Morwen Daggerford, that was her name, to essentially help with a band of traveling strangers who had come and parked their covered wagons outside the city and were harassing people for wine, money, things like that. She had tried to handle it with her own town guard, but they came back mystified, essentially.
Yeah, the Vistani.
Yep.
And we intelligently followed them without asking any questions, and there were no issues whatsoever.
No, there was a lot of issues. I regret it all. We should have collected the reward.
I like how out of all the things that have happened, that's what you regret, is not collecting the reward.
At the very least,
Not following them and getting stuck in this godforsaken hellhole, but not getting the reward.
at the very least, I could die a rich half-elf.
Let me know how your riches do when you try flicking them at a werewolf.
I will let you. I don't even have to tell you. You will be there to see it.
No, I'm gonna be running my ass the other direction.
Okay.
He goes, "I want all my riches in the form of silver going forward."
Me too. I luckily the one smart thing that I did was transfer what little gold I had into silver.
What little gold you had into silver, huh?
Yeah, I now have 20 coins of silver. I think 20 coin. Let me double check. Is it 20 or 30?
Fun.
Yeah.
But following that, you all met with the guards and found out that they were not enchanted. At least nothing that you could find seemed enchanted. They just seemed to be unhostile toward the strangers. So you all then decided to go and speak with the strangers, who you learned from, I think his name was Stanismir?
Yeah, the head of the Vistani.
Yep, who was the head of the Vistani. You met his daughter and son, and he told you the story of a valiant prince who ruled over their land, who had become a tyrant due to some kind of dark curse or something. You all agreed with the Vistani to come to the land of Barovia, where the prince still rules. They refused to give you his name, but told you to speak with Madame Eva, their leader in Barovia, who could tell you everything.
The lost lands of Barovia.
Yep. So everything went fine for the first 3 days of travel. You rode along in a covered wagon, had no issues, and then on the 4th morning, well, afternoonish, you all awoke on the side of the road in a land of mist at the gates of Barovia. Speaking of the gates, I actually found out that there's a handout I forgot to show you all, so let me find that real quick.
Truly a wise decision on our part.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it wasn't a
Because I mean, the story
wise
needed to
decision.
progress somehow.
Yeah. You all came to the gates, and while at the gates, you met your lovely barbarian, not
Possible
barbarian.
cannibal.
Not barbarian.
He looks like a barbarian.
What on
He's
But
earth?
his name is
he's a man.
Rogar.
Rogar.
He's just a
thank
rough.
you. I was trying to remember his
Have a
name.
rough
It's like,
go of it.
It's alright.
name.
I don't remember anyone's name.
From there, you all then ended up learning from him that he had been running around the woods for about, what, a week?
About a week.
You poor barbarian.
Or half
how
of
many-
a 10-day?
He turns and looks at you. If you call me a barbarian one more time, I'm gonna feed you to those things that came out last time.
Eh,
You don't look.
Everyone hates on Eldon Nash. All he wants to do is spread the word of God.
But while speaking with your newfound friend, you were suddenly attacked by zombies that came up from the ground.
That at least Rogar's used to. It's like you can't stop anywhere in this place.
From there, you all then proceeded on down the road, following your gnome barbarian Alana, who's played by me, your GM. And about an hour or so later, as you were coming through a curve, you ran into a band of werewolves.
Wait a minute. Alana's a barbarian?
Yes.
Oh.
You-
Sorry, Rogar.
You didn't
I'm
know that?
mistaking you for the. I'm mistaking you with the Hobbit.
Remember how he's kept threatening you every time you mistakenly
I am
call
not a
him
halfling,
barbarian?
you half-brain fool.
I'm sorry.
I'm a gnome. Get it right.
I'm just saying it would be so easy to throw him to one of the werewolves.
Everyone
Very
just keeps on hating Eldon Nash. I'm trying my best.
All right, so you all, Alana and Crimsic, I think it was, decided to go try and have some fun poking at the werewolves. Crimsic more reluctantly than Alana. She's like, ooh, enemy, kill it. Then, I believe it was not Elrondir, good lord.
Morondir?
Morondir, who managed to convince the werewolves to back off.
Charismatically saved the day.
Yes.
I tried to start a forest fire.
I'm aware.
You all then found a letter on a deceased corpse that invited you to,
Leave
Loot the
Barovia
place.
forever and never come back until everything had died.
pretty much.
The Burgermaster really knew what he was talking about. It's like, this place is terrible. And
I
I
wanted
mean,
to
if you
loot
could
the
point
place.
me in the direction to leave, I'd more than happily oblige.
Yeah,
this entire land is cursed and godforsaken.
That's great. I can bring the god Eldenesh to this
Oh, no,
land.
that would be worse than Godforsaken.
I spread the word of my Lord and save your souls from eternal damnation.
Okay.
I shall burn the corpses of my enemies, and I will sing happily.
Uh-huh.
Eldenesh, he kind of just looks at Eldenesh and goes, so what you're saying is you want to go into town first.
I'll
Yeah,
go into
he's in
town
front.
first.
Alright.
Don't worry,
I'm
companions. I
starting
will
to
lead us to
vibe with
safety.
Rogar. I'm picking up on what he's all about.
I
Let's put the half elf in front.
And then goes, don't worry, we'll be right behind you.
okay. I epically rush forward, swagger forward into town.
I'm
Hello.
gonna stay a safe distance away.
Rogar looks at the rest of you and goes, okay, so we're going to give that about half an hour to resolve itself one way or another, and then we'll go in after him.
Or
Also,
we
we're-
won't. Depending on how things go, maybe we won't go in after him.
I mean, we'll wait for the torches and pitchforks, or just the monsters. I have no idea. This whole place is terrible. There's no walls here.
From there, you all proceeded on down the road, and about a quarter mile from the town of Barovia, dusk began to come in. You all were presented with the option of camping out in the fields or proceeding on into town. And you decided, nope, we're going to town. So.
Yeah, we literally just got away from werewolves. We're like, we need to not be out in the open for this.
All right.
Also, the sorcerer vanished, so that just reinforces our point. We took a rest, he went out for a piss and never came back. It's like, nah.
Poor Cryptek, he died horribly.
So that brings us back to town. You all have just arrived. That being said, we need a change of music here, so give me just 1 second.
The previous one, I felt like I was in Bioshock, about to tell people, a man chooses, a slave obeys.
Now
Sounds
you're just
fun.
gonna start hearing Hellfire start playing, and they go, "Oh no, never mind. We need." It's like, guys, it sounds like there's a party for Eldanesh. A going away party.
All right.
I don't
So
like your
you all are roughly on the outskirts of town right here.
Yep.
And while we're at it, let me pull up the information I need here. The sparse light from a few windows can be seen as you all stand about. And this is a rough estimation of what various buildings in the village look like.
I like the architecture. Can I do a roll to figure out what sort of architecture this is?
Sure, go ahead.
I will do. I guess history would fall into this. History.
History or religion, maybe.
I can do history. Public roll. Normal. Let's see how bad
Hey,
I
not bad.
effed up. Oh,
So
nice.
on your 19, you can tell that it's a mixture of mostly wood with some stone and clay.
Okay. Is there a special drawing of it? Is there any sort of symbols on it? Any sort of thing is it early design? Is it more modern day D&D designed hovels, or is it something really old and ancient?
So there are some ancient buildings, but the best way I could give you a modern or real life picture would be either think of like Tudor England mixed with Transylvania.
Ah.
Because technically you're literally in Transylvania right now.
Even crazier. I thought for sure we were in like the Italian states.
No.
Now we're here. This is
Yeah.
strange.
Alright.
Companions! I yell while they're all a mile away, wetting themselves. Uh, these designs look weird. I'm going to go forward and find out. And I will swagger forward into town and try to find someone important. The
Alright.
first house with a light on it, I will probably knock on the door.
So, the first place you come to, you travel down through, basically keeping to the main road here. The first place you come to with light would be this building here. The sparse light from this building spills out from behind drawn heavy curtains. A sign above the door, creaking on its hinges, reads Bildrath's Mercantile.
Ah, a merchant's place. That's great. I come from a family of merchant nobles. I will knock on the door.
What are you two doing while he knocks on the door?
Rogar's kind of just looking over the party and just watching everything in the distance to give it a bit of time to see
I want to
what's
see
going
what
on.
monster grabs him through the door.
Yeah, like this is specifically just him testing the waters because he's been a week in this place and everything about this place has been a trap. It's felt like so he's just waiting, going, okay, I almost relaxed for a second, but I've learned enough here to know that this place is there's no walls. This place can't exist in a place like this without walls, and no one around here guarding this place. Like something has got to be up with this.
So, after a few seconds, the door opens, and a human man, looks like he's in his mid 40s, opens the door and looks out at you.
I will give a courteous bow and say, good evening, fair merchant man. I am Eldanesh, God chosen, and I have come here by the will of my lord to save lives and bring down my vengeance upon my enemies. Would you care to answer some questions because I think I'm lost?
In the background, you hear Rogar look over at Alana and the Dragonborn and go, "So I'll bet you both dinner that he mucks this up somehow."
He's going to look at you. I'm Bildreth Cantemir, owner of this fine establishment. Depending on what you're looking for, I might be able to help you.
Okay, that would be appreciated. Uh, do you by any chance, can we get out of this cold weather? I have been traveling and dealing with threats. Do you have somewhere warm that me and my companions can come and sit down? I promise to honor guest laws.
He looks at you.
You just see this young half-elf within maybe around 18 to 20 years old, just shivering in the cold.
Not a single other person in sight, so he probably thinks you've lost your marbles.
Anyone who wants to roll me an insight on this man may do so.
I will do it, since I am in front of him. Insight, 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 insight. Do I even have insight? Yeah, I have horrible insight. Public roll. I got a 15, which wasn't bad.
Alright. So, Rogar, you can tell he's very wary and standoffish.
I know nothing.
You're like, "Yep, that's a person, all right."
Yep. Certainly thinks he's crazy.
Can I do like a charisma test of some kind? Persuasion, just to let him know that I'm here to honor. I'm not here to harm. Just want to ask questions.
That would be something more in what you say, so not yet.
Oh, okay.
He'll look you and your companions over. If you're looking for guest house, you're gonna want to go down to the Blood on the Vine, or Blood of the Vine. Sorry.
I understand, good sir, but I am looking at the moment for answers to questions. If that is okay with you, may we speak? I
Here-
promise it will only be for a small amount of time. If you would prefer, I will come in alone, as long as you promise guess right.
He'll tell you, I can try to answer your questions, but I'm just about to close up for the night.
Fair enough. Uh, do you know where a Madam Eve is located? Or a Stanismere?
He will smile. So you know, my Vistani friends, that yes, if you're looking for Madame Eva, you're gonna want to go to the Serre Pool encampment. That is,
Where is that?
He will point off west, because you all are coming from the east. And give me just a second while I pull up one thing here that I need to check to give you the correct directions. You're going to go out of the western gate of town, and you're going to go down the road. When you come to the bridge, and you will find the Ilvis River. If you follow the road across the bridge and along, you're eventually going to come to a split path. If you follow the one that seems more straight and leads up through the trees, you will eventually come back along to Serre Pool.
Interesting. May I ask what you know about these Vistani? Are they the trustworthy sort? Have they been causing any troubles here? Oh, by the way, what is this place called?
This is the village of Barovia.
Ah, interesting.
As for the Vistani, they are a wandering folk. Some, yes, you can easily believe. Others, well, let's just say you might want to check your company before you speak. Some work for the dreaded demon lord himself,
Who?
the devil Strahd.
Never heard of him.
You've never heard of Strahd von Zarovich.
No, this is the first time I've ever heard of his name. Is he the tyrant prince that the Vistani like?
So you have heard of our dread prince?
No, I was just told they have a dread prince, a tyrant prince. They didn't tell me anything else. They didn't even tell me his name. Um, I take it Strahd is this tyrant prince.
Strahd. And yes,
Strahd.
he is the prince of this land and the ruler of all Barovia, this entire valley. And
What is his tax policy?
He's going to look at you.
Well, if he's a tyrant prince, I would like to know how much of my money he's going to take.
Remember
Yeah.
how he was gonna screw this up, Rogar? I think we're getting to that point.
It'll be fine.
At this point, he just kind of buttons up.
What? What would I say?
I don't want to speak too loudly about Strahd, my friend.
Oh. Apologies, I'm still new here.
And then
We just...
he'll point down the road and tell you, if you have further inquiries, I would take them to the Blood of the Vine. And he points toward this building here.
Okay.
And then
Thank you.
And slams the door in your face, and you hear the bolt click.
Oh. That was pretty rude. I turn around and I start walking back to my companions. And I will relay to them, okay, I have figured it out. We are in the village of Barovia. We are to go to the Blood of the Vine, where we can meet with people and ask questions. And the Vistani lady that we're supposed to find, Madame Eva, is located, and I give them the location, the directions to it. And then I whisper to the group, I found out the name of the tyrant prince that the Vistani want us to help. His name is Strahd. Also, the tax policy here is horrible. The man got angry and closed the door when I asked about it. It's probably because he taxes the peasantry into oblivion. So, try not to wave your wealth.
I mean,
Rogar
I
just
don't
looks
have any
confused
wealth
when you
to
say
wave.
bring up Rogar just looks confused when you bring up taxes. It's like, what is taxes?
My character looks dumbstruck as he looks at the man and says, wait a minute, you don't pay your taxes? How does your society even survive?
What is the purpose of taxes?
You give the money to the nobles, and the nobles use it to build the town, protect you from threats, and build up armies and walls and defenses.
He kind of thinks about that for a second. You see it rolling around, and he goes, tribute. That makes sense.
Okay, my self-esteem is at an all-time low. The man closed the door upon me. They told me to go ask questions at the Bloody Vine. It seems to be a tavern which we can sleep at night. I turned to Alana. These people seem to be terrified and scared. I wanted to ask them about their defenses and how they've been surviving from all the horrors we fought, but the man closed that. He ended the conversation early.
Rogar, did you at least see what kind of things he sold? You said he was a merchant of some kind.
Yeah. I didn't ask him about
That's gonna
what
be a
sort of
no.
merchant he knows.
It's gonna be a hard no.
Yeah, I heard, nah.
Anyways, I've done some investigating. That's what I've discovered.
Alright,
Seems
where's the
a
blood of
little-
the vine at?
Yeah. I will lead them to the Bloody Vine.
I mean, Blood of the Vine. It is
I call it the Bloody Vine.
up here.
Rogar is just gonna keep his head on a swivel as he goes through town, kind of observing everything. I'm guessing most of this place is kind of locked up pretty tight.
It seems to be, yes.
I would like to do an investigation roll. See if the taxes are going to the right places. Yes.
Alright, so.
See what this village is
Man's very
lacking and
concerned
stuff
with
like.
taxes.
I am
You're looking
very
at-
concerned.
You're looking at
It's
the
a job-
roads.
It is a job of the noble to properly outfit out his villages and his towns and cities. I would like to see how this Strahd is doing. I got a nat 20, 24. I am very big on taxes and procuring accommodations for the peasants.
Yeah, you're not certain, if anything, that you learn.
I got a 20 on that. Nat 20.
Because you're also not in the tavern yet.
No, I'm looking outside, like the buildings, the roads. I mean, there's no walls for defense.
He's inspecting the infrastructure, it sounds
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah, basically. What has all the tax policies brought to this land? Come on, Avex. Do some economics.
I mean, they're alive, aren't they?
How rundown do some of these buildings look? How large of a population does this look like, based on what I'm seeing? Are the peasants moving out? Are the peasants moving in? What's the current economic state based on what I'm seeing with the infrastructure?
Most of these houses look fairly nice and solid, but they're old, right? Like there's no new anything here. The paint's kind of messed up. It's just kind of it looks like a well-built town to last that hasn't really had a lot of maintenance. Yeah,
Oh,
like a frontier town.
Okay, I'm thinking, Avex, is that true?
Repeat the question.
The infrastructure of the town, the state of it, and how it's been being developed by the Tyrant Prince. Given the few little informations that I got, how well is this town being developed? Is it expanding or is it decreasing?
It looks like you've wandered into the middle of a broken down Barovian or medieval town.
It's on its way out.
It's on its way out. I am very disappointed of this Tyrant Prince. His duties as a noble is being failed. He's collecting so much taxes. He's collecting so much taxes, and he's not spending it. Hey, this is all internal. I'm not voicing this out. He's not spending it all on developing the land. Very bad. I don't approve. Negative 10 points from Eldenesh. Approval rating.
Rogar's looking for some kind of sign or business thing in the buildings to indicate an inn. Blood vine or whatever.
Yeah.
I point to the blood vine, the bloody vine, blood of the vine, whatever it is.
What kind of door is it? Just like a regular open door, or does it look like it's open, unlocked?
All right. So, as you approach the blood of the vine tavern, a single shaft of light thrusts illumination into the main square, its brightness looking like a solid pillar in the heavy fog. Above the gaping doorway, a sign hangs precariously askew, proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
All right. So, what's the door look like? Open, shut, inviting, barred?
I would like to start writing down notes, taking out the parchment and pen, quill, and start writing on possible ways to improve the town and bring more people to it. I'm gonna write an angry letter to Strahd.
Rogar just looked over his back. He goes, maybe he should do something about all the terrible rampant wildlife, or I guess whatever the zombies that just kind of wander around all the time everywhere. Like this place is just untenable.
You're right. Building a wall should be the primary defense of this town. I shall write a letter, a complaint.
It's not like there's not enough trees for it here. It's just.
All right. So you all can res your characters in this vicinity.
It's just black on my screen. Is it still loading for you guys?
It's good. I just moved you have to move your token onto the sheet. I'm the only one who's got a token.
Yeah.
So over
How do you
here.
do that?
So you grab the name on the journal. You grab where your name is located and drag it onto the area.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. If you can't get yourself out there, I can get you out there.
Let me see.
A little bit down.
That's it. I just had to scroll my screen down a little bit. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So you can vaguely see a crack of light coming from within right about here.
Yeah. Rogar is gonna stride up to the door, and since it's mostly open, he's gonna push his way in.
All right. So you should be able to click on the door icon and open.
Yes.
All right. Inside, you see a human behind the bar. There is another human over here, and then there are 3 colorfully dressed humans in this vicinity that you can easily tell are Vistani women.
Well, I don't know what a Vistani is because I've never seen or heard one of those in my life as Rogar. So he's gonna go over to the keeper of the inn and sit down in front of her
Yeah.
and relax for a minute.
I will be the wingman to Rogar and sit down next to him.
Alana's going
Yeah,
to join you at the
idea.
bar. Alright, so the barkeep will look at you as you come in. I'm going to go ahead and close the door just for sanity's sake.
Oh yeah,
Rogar
sanity
left it
seems
open.
to be the utmost concern of this town.
What did you say? Seems to be the most utmost
Seems
concern?
to be of the utmost concern for this town.
Yeah.
What is security?
So,
Sanitation.
a pudgy little man behind the counter turns to you as he continues to mindlessly clean the glass that he was holding. And then he sets it down as he comes over to you. Greetings. I'm Eric Lornsk, the bartender here. How can I help you?
Hello, barkeep. Me and my companions are travelers, and we are lost, and we would like some
Food and drink,
questions
Rogar
answered.
interrupts right there.
That as well.
He's just got a haunted look on his face and he's just kind of leaning over the bar a little bit. He's just like got an intense look, just going food and drink.
You know what? I look at my companions to say, we would like some food and drink to start with. We'll ask questions after we have a meal first.
As you say that, the man over here at a table by himself, you can see that he's watching you before he approaches you and introduces himself as Ismark Kalyanovich,
Kalyanovich.
and will introduce himself as the son of the Burgomeister Kolyan Indirovich, and invites you over to his tables. He'll also offer to pay for your food and drink.
That is very hospitable, young noble. I accept it. As long as you accept the laws of guest right and protection, I agree.
This isn't Game of Thrones.
Well, no, guest right is a very big thing in medieval times.
What do the other 3 of you do? Alana's looking at you 2.
I'm waiting for food and drink.
Rogar's intensely waiting for food and drink and not really paying much attention to the other guy besides making sure he doesn't get within arm's reach.
Yeah, the other guys are willing to pay for our food and drink, and I would accept.
Yeah, the bartender turns to Ismark, just nods and prepares 4 glasses of wine, and
I would request milk, not wine. I need to get big and strong, so please a lot of milk.
he's going to look
Clearly,
at
it's been
you.
working so far.
He's going to look at you and pour you a glass of wine and hand you a glass of wine and tell you you
Drink
want to
this,
get.
I'm underage.
And is going to look at you and be like, "You want to get big and strong? You drink the wine."
I don't like wine.
And then he turns back to begin preparing your all's dinner.
Rogar just starts sipping on it and just goes, "What do you want?" and turns to the other guy.
How are you enjoying Barovia thus far?
It's horrific. When I see Stanismir next time, I'm going to make him a smear on the wall.
What did Stanismir do to you?
He was evil. He abandoned us. Left us to die. I'm going to write him an angry letter and then kick him in the balls.
Rogar just shrugs and just goes, "Never met the man, but doesn't sound like he gave this lot much actual useful information, but we're just dumping them here."
Yeah, just left us at the gate and then ran off.
He seems like a good judge of character, though, because, man, these guys are just...
Yeah, to be
Excuse
fair, I'd
me,
probably
I take
just dump
offense to
Eldenish
that.
off too.
He just turns and looks you dead in the eyes and goes, "Did you or did you not agree to come here to become quote-unquote heroes?"
No, I moved them out so they'd stop bothering Daggerford. I should have collected the reward for moving them away. I regret not agreeing to the knights and having them go in and burn the whole Vistani camp to the ground.
Ah, but burning the
Why did I
Vistani...
have to? Why did I have to be such a hero and try to play the peacekeeper?
He will smile. The Vistani do have their moments of lack of character and judgment, but if you're wishing to be heroes, perhaps you wouldn't mind aiding me and my father.
Ah, I pull out the letter we got earlier. Actually, I don't have the letter. It was Joe. You
I
have
have
the
it.
letter. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, your father is the burgomaster. You have my deepest sympathy on your sister's condition.
And what do
Wait.
you think is my sister's condition?
Well, we found a note on one of your guys. He was mauled to death by werewolves. Uh, Something about her dying slowly. Something going on. I don't really remember. I wasn't paying attention too much. But you have my deepest sympathy.
He will frown at you. She's not dying, but it would appear that Strahd von Zarovich, the ruler of this land, has taken an unhealthy interest in my sister. So long as she's... Go ahead.
I would like to do an insight, see how people in the bar react when this guy mentions the name.
Okay.
Like, anyone listening in on our conversation, anything like that.
Rugar is looking at or listening,
I
but
got
he's
a
not paying
9.
attention to you. He's focusing on the guy making his food to make sure nothing weird's happening with it.
Yeah, you don't notice anything.
Hmm.
He will,
Okay.
he will tell you, as so long as she stays in Barovia, I fear that he will eventually take her, and I don't know what his plans for her are. I would
Rugar
ask...
calls.
Go ahead.
Rugar calls out from across the bar and goes, "Well, then just get her out of Barovia. Seems easy enough." And then he just groans and just lays on the bar, remembering trying the damn fog and getting out of this place. Perhaps you can point me in the direction of the exit.
Oh God. So yeah, Ismark is going to look over at you and be like, "My friend, if only it were that easy. Unfortunately, no one can leave Barovia, the land, but you can leave the village. Perhaps you all would be willing to help me escort Irina to Valaki, a local settlement at the heart of the valley. It is said that it is far more fortified and secure than Barovia itself."
I shall consider it. We will need some time. But I have many more questions. Once answered, once we get a full picture on the situation, we will come to a decision. Good son of the Burgermeister.
And in terms of who you're currently speaking to, this is Ismark.
Ismark the Lesser.
Yes. That is what the locals call him, though you haven't learned that yet.
Alright.
And he looks around at you all moderately expectantly to see if you will aid him.
I have a list of questions. What is going on here in Barovia? Why can't we leave the land?
He will tell you that there are many varied beliefs as to why people cannot leave, but all things seem to lead back to Strahd.
Unfortunate.
How long has that been a thing?
Yeah, I would ask that as well. How long has this been? Also, companions, are you going to come eat here or are you going to stay at the bar?
The bar's where the food's coming, so that's where Rogar's at.
Okay. Do you have money to pay for that?
He just kind of looks at you for a moment and just goes, "Money."
It's what you use to
It's
pay
that
for
thing
things.
that dragon on your island hoards.
The tribute, remember the tribute? You gotta use that as a form of currency to get stuff. If you're not able to pay, I highly recommend you come and listen to this fine gentleman here. And
You see
figure out.
recognition blink in his eyes, and he goes, okay, yeah, that makes sense." He leans in and pulls out, and you see a bag of gold just start spilling out. He goes, "How much of this?"
Okay, yeah. I
I was doing a
apologize for my companions. They don't seem interested. Would we be able to get a meeting with your father, the Burgermeister?
Yes, I can easily arrange for you to meet with my father. You said that you had a letter. Perhaps I could see this letter.
We shall see once we meet with the Burgermeister. I
Rogar
think he was.
just Rogar leans in and just pulls it out of his pouch he's got. It was in the gold bag, so it's all beat up. But he rolls it down the bar to Alana.
Okay, Alana will take it and walk over and settle down and just give him the letter. He will read through it for a few moments and will tell you, this was not written by my father.
Oh, who wrote
Tough.
this?
I'm uncertain, but I do not know this handwriting.
It says Colin Indrovich.
Yes, that is
Oh,
my
yeah.
father's name, but that is not his handwriting.
Suspicious. Well, I guess I have a idea what happened. The person who got mauled by the werewolves decided to commit the high crime of forging a letter of a burgomaster noble, and for that he has died horribly. I regret giving him the final rites. Then, do you have any suspicion on who else it might be?
There could be many people, but unfortunately, like I said, I don't recognize the handwriting.
That's unfortunate. We should go and meet with the burgomaster and let him know of possible people forging his letters. That is a serious crime.
Rogar just turns and looks at him and goes, "Not that we aren't uninterested in heading to this new town, but how far is it roughly?"
Whoa. Do not agree
Direction
to
of
anything.
town?
That's how we got into this mess to begin with. We need more answers, more questions.
It is a couple.
Right, which is why the first question I asked is how far is it?
It is about.
Literally asking more questions.
It is about 3 days' ride west to the center of the valley. Across the river.
Riding what?
Riding what? He will tell you that he can easily provide transport.
If it's a carriage, I'm not interested. The last time I got in one, I was dumped off in the middle of BFE. I won't
The
do
only
it.
form of travel I will accept is that of a mule. I am tired of carriages as well.
Rogar just looks confused. And just turns and looks at Molrondir and just goes, "What's a mule?"
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and anyone who's not human, I will also add this. Aside from like the Vistani and Ismark, you're getting strange looks.
What else is new?
I feel uncomfortable. And I tried to cover my pointy ears.
I don't think they're looking at you. I think they're looking at the Dragonborn fella next to Rogar.
Listen, there's
And
not
Alana.
much I can do to. Yeah, there's not much I
Yeah.
can do to really cover all this up.
Uh,
I'm proudly displaying my Dragonborn heritage. I don't give. I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say something inappropriate.
it's very inappropriate. Put a gold coin in the swear jar.
No, I didn't
Nope.
say anything.
Mm.
I stopped myself.
Anyway, getting back on topic, do you know where Madame Eva is?
Yes, Madame Eva is the leader of the Vistani. She is at Camp Serpool.
So is this
What-
place
no,
that
no,
you're
no,
wanting us to
what-
go
what-
further past
Yes, it is.
that
Wait.
place?
He will tell you, if you've heard of Camp Serpool, it is on the way.
Okay, so we can, if we agree to do this thing for him, we can stop there and talk with Madame Eva on the way.
He will also tell you that he has spent most of his adult life training with weapons in the hopes of one day confronting and killing Strahd for his unhealthy interest in his sister.
I will make a note on the list of things I'm going to complain to the Strahd. Trying to molest a young noble lady.
I mean, she's an adult, but still.
Defiling the purity of a noble lady.
I mean, he's just shown interest in her. It's like it's hardly a crime.
It's a very big crime. You have to go through the parents first, negotiate a couple of weeks and months on deals and alliances before you pursue a romantic relationship. This Strahd is breaking all the rules. He's not
First of all, do
properly...
you know that? I mean, I just turn and look at the sun and just go, did Strahd approach any of your family directly?
No.
See? Breaking the
So
law.
how do you know she has interest in her?
It has come through resourceful means and watching. He seems to desire her above any and all others.
Morgan just rolls his eyes. He goes, just rumors mills.
I don't know.
He will look
Well,
at you and say, would seeing it with your own eyes count as the rumor mill?
What did you see exactly? He leans over the bar.
Let's just say what I saw and what happens are very much the same.
So what happened?
He will roughly describe to you that one evening he saw Strahd come to their house and climb up the wall to his sister's window.
Oh, that goes against all noble rights. You have to first send a letter of notice saying, I wish to pursue a relationship with your daughter. I will arrive on this day to
Rogar
negotiate with the father.
Rogar interrupts
Oh.
Eldenesh by throwing his empty wine cup at
I
Eldenesh from across the bar.
am not happy with this. This is
I just
not a
raised a
way to
hand
treat a
up to
noble.
give you a high five.
I am greatly insulted by this action. I will remember this the next time you're hungry, Joe.
Oi!
Rogar.
What are you throwing things at me for?
No, it's at him, not you.
It literally just sails right over your head to smash into like his shoulder.
I am not happy with this. This is a crime against nobility.
He goes, I'll show you a crime against nobility if you don't shut up.
Oh boy.
As you were saying, he was creeping into your sister's room.
Party's
Like
falling
a
Also,
apart.
he
pervert.
interrupts again and goes, you just told me a minute ago, literally, that you didn't have any direct contact with him. He goes, that seems pretty direct.
All he was what? Wow. Mixing up voices here. He will tell you that he was watching from the stables.
Wait. Why didn't you try to stop this Strahd? He might have done unspeakable things to your sister.
I mean, he was just outside the window, right? He wasn't, like, actually in the house or anything?
No, he
Did he
wasn't
creep
in
into
the
her
house.
room?
No, well, then it's weird, but it's not, like, something you gotta go and get a knife for. I get that.
No, but
Ah!
she did come to the window and open it to speak with him.
I mean, if somebody comes to your window, it's pretty normal to talk to them, right?
I don't approve of it. Your window. How high is your house? Her room. Her bedroom.
Her room is on the second story.
Yeah, no, I don't approve of that.
Note to self, Strahd does cardio.
I will write in there. Strahd is a good climber. Don't approve of his actions. Approve of his acrobatic skills and athletics. Do not approve of his use of it.
I can't think of a better idea than roaming this land just complaining about the one who rules it. I truly can't.
That's exactly what my character is doing.
Yeah, that's why the rest of us are kind of watching and just going. Literally, Rogar just pulls out like an old like sand hourglass and just turns it over and just starts a timer.
Complaining and whining is what I am good at. That's
Alright,
why I
so
don't
I'm
take any
gonna
more
bet
wine.
that before that sand runs out, he's gonna end up getting the attention of somebody we probably shouldn't be getting the attention of because he won't stop complaining about Strahd.
I mean, he was complaining about those Vistani fellows that you guys hung around with too. So I
I
mean,
have a
isn't that like
plenty of
everybody?
complaints.
He complains about everything. I don't even know why he agreed to come. Honestly,
I
I turn and
wanted to
look.
be a hero and save
I turn and look
lives.
at
I
Mulrondir
regret
and
it.
I'm just like, didn't you guys get abandoned? Like
oh
without a
yeah,
word? Like,
we
I
did.
mean, doesn't that make sense that maybe there was a reason for it? And he just kind of nudges you and looks it over at Alana and Elkindish, and there he's just like, maybe there was a reason. Maybe there was good reasons.
I'm gonna
Maybe there
say
were
you're wrong.
multiple good reasons.
I'm not gonna say you're wrong, but I'd like not to have been lumped into that camp.
It looks like you were lumped into that camp. You got lumped
Yeah.
in together.
Yeah, no, I'm
Maybe
aware.
maybe they thought you had a big mouth and you was gonna blab.
Blab about what? They didn't tell us anything.
Yeah, I mean, maybe about, well, they couldn't have told you that they were going to drop you off if, you were going to blab about it, right?
Excuse
Oh,
me,
I
Rogar.
see. Yes. Well,
I was a proper guest.
unfortunately, well, they could have just taken me with them and not drop me off with him.
It just turns and
I,
looks at you and just goes, I guess you just didn't have a trustworthy face.
Ah, well, I get that a lot.
wait, I have a question. How did you get here,
The
Rogar?
horns, really.
Rogar goes stiff, and he just turns and looks at you and goes, I do not want to talk about it.
My suspicion is being raised. And I turn to Istamir and say, quick question. What time of night did this prince come to visit your sister?
He would tell you that it was roughly about probably 10 o'clock at night.
That is very not well approved. I do not approve.
He will also tell you that he has come twice to call on her.
What has your sister said in her defense?
He will tell you that she hasn't said much.
Oh, so she's into it.
I mean, it doesn't sound like she's complaining.
Yeah.
And the guy is the prince of the entire land. I mean, that's pretty
you
good
could
attention
certainly
normally.
do worse.
Than the prince of the whole land of Barovia, yeah.
There are noble customs you got to follow. He's
You keep
breaking
assuming
the
that
law.
they follow your customs.
Wait a second.
There is a custom among all nobility. Doesn't tell me, Istendir. I turn to the noble guy. What are the customs of marriage law and pursuing relations with a noble lady of another house?
Rogar just calls out from across the bar and goes, do not tell him that. He will go after your sister.
I have no intentions of getting married. I am devoted to my god.
Well, it depends on what race she is, I guess, because he doesn't like intermingling either.
Yeah, I can't really intermingle with anyone. I'm a half-elf. There's no real other half-elves, really. I mean, I don't even care. Oh, god damn it. I need to figure this out.
He just
It
turns and
sounds
looks at you
like
and goes, have you finished your wine yet?
No, I haven't. It's untouched. I give it to Alana.
He would
The
tell you.
only person who wasn't back talked to me. I let her have my wine.
He would tell you that in terms of what his sister has had to say regarding her encounters with Strahd, they are but fuzzy memories, but she can clearly recall a blazing hunger in his eyes.
Ew. I write that in big letters. Blazing hunger in eyes. Ew. Lecher.
Rogar just leans over the bar and goes, Eric, is our food yet? Looking at the
Yes.
bartender.
Yeah, the food would have already been served as of about 5 minutes ago, so
Oh, okay.
What did they serve us?
it's some sort of stew.
Good enough for
what
him.
kind
He's
of stew
starved.
is this?
Huh?
Well, what meat is used in this?
What kind of stew is this?
I mean, Rogar doesn't know what went into the pot, but he watched the entire thing.
You can see chunks of beef with mixed vegetables.
Okay, I'm satisfied.
Or
Okay,
what
is the
appears to
broth
be beef.
creamy or watery?
Watery.
Amazing.
Hmm. Not the best, but I will not complain. I am very hungry.
Yeah. Alana, like you, Rogar, just digs in.
I have my pinky out as I take a small sip. No noise, no sound of noise, nothing like proper noble etiquette.
Rogar's loudly, enjoyably eating the food and goes, I'll have seconds, without even looking up.
I will also enjoy seconds, given that my new friend is paying for the meal. I will even take thirds. I will take a gold cup as well.
Rogar looks up and just goes, who's your friend paying for the meal?
This one right over here.
Is
At the noble.
Ismark will just nod at you.
I just look at you and look at
No.
him. I'm just disappointed from across the bar at the guy.
Now,
Like- Your desperation is showing. Stop it.
yes. I will ask. What reputation does this Strahd have with women? If he is doing this, he must have had a reputation with other women.
I could not tell you his reputation with just simply women, but everyone in Barovia fears our dread lord.
He's a count,
Hmm.
right? Not like a prince or king.
How horrific are we talking about? This prince of yours. What is his tax policy? What evil actions has he done? Can you give me a list of his crimes?
Where's the father? Like, isn't there a king to this land? Or a queen? It's just the prince?
He would tell you Strahd's parents died many, many years ago, based from the
Never
stories.
finished. He never finished crowning himself? Nobody crowned him king?
I also have to agree. I'm concerned about that. What customs
did he just
and laws?
I mean, maybe he just didn't feel up to it at the point, but I mean,
Oh,
it feels kind of
wait,
weird.
Maybe he's a petty king. I've heard some petty kings call themselves princes instead, since their domain is a princedom and not a proper kingdom.
I mean, but if he's actually descended from the king and queen, that directly their kid, I mean, he should be, by all rights, the king.
Strahd's father, was he also a prince when he was in power, or was he a king?
From all accounts of King Barov, he was a king of a faraway land.
So Strahd's not from here. Okay, that explains why he didn't crown himself. He's probably not a proper... He hasn't retaken his lands. Okay, interesting. Okay, I will put exiled noble on the list of things. And I will point to the side of state.
Here.
I'm making all the assumptions. Did a good job of raising to the position of power of Barovia. There's going to be a list of things I approve of Strahd, things I don't approve of Strahd. The list of I don't approve is getting longer, but a couple of things that I approve of. A noble who grabs himself up by the bootstraps and takes over the land and declares himself the prince of it. I approve of that. But again,
he turns and looks at Ishir and goes, "Hey," Ruger looks at Eric and goes, "You have rooms available?"
Yes, we do have rooms. How many nights will you be needing?
He just turns and looks at Ishir and he goes, "How long till you're ready to head out?"
Well, he'll tell you he needs to speak. He needs to return home and get things ready, so probably 2 to 3 days, max.
I wish to speak with the burgomaster.
That's fine. 2 to 3 days then.
Wait, we haven't agreed on anything. We need more answers, questions answered.
That's okay. We've agreed on it. You don't
Yeah,
have to.
that was the important part.
Remember last time we agreed on something, we ended up abandoned here in Barovia.
Yeah, but if I agree to something that you're not involved in, I have a good feeling it's gonna end better.
I look up to the sky and pray for Eldanesh to protect these poor fools. I don't say the fool part out loud. It's a silent prayer.
Yeah, but Ruger just looks at him and goes, "So how many of these metal bits do you need for room for the night?"
That will be 5 silver per night.
Let me see here.
May I speak to your sister? Figure out what might have been affecting her. I am a master of the arcane. A scholar of the arcane would be better suited, but my hubris say master of arcane. Perhaps it might be a spell or some sort of sorcery of sorts.
He will tell you that if you wish to speak with Irina, you're more than welcome to come to the Burgermeister's house to do so. They don't allow her outside as she is more in danger of Strahd outside their house.
What, is he hiding in the bushes?
I mean, he was outside the house, so I mean, that's if he can get there, he can get anywhere, right? Prince of the land, who's gonna stop him?
Wait, where is Strahd's commander of the guard? Why isn't he being followed by his troops? Is he just walking around by himself in a land inflicted with werewolves and undead?
I mean, he certainly doesn't seem like the type to not be able to defend himself.
Plus, you remember the stories where like the prince literally like single-handedly helped fight off like all the enemies of the Vistani. Like he's not known as like some weak guy, right? I mean, he's pretty well known as a warrior.
Hey, how would you know about the Vistani when you weren't even there?
You told me about it.
I didn't tell you anything. I just said,
Certainly
please don't
did tell him the story when he asked us why we were here.
Yep.
Oh wait, you're right. I forgot. My bad. As I was
I
saying,
reiterate my point about I feel like this quest would go better if he wasn't on it.
I feel like it would go a lot easier if we go my way.
What way is that exactly? Just to be specific.
To gather information and then make
Which
a
we
logical, surgical. We didn't gather enough information. I haven't even talked to the sister yet.
Well, no worries. You'll have plenty of time to talk to her when we're taking her to safety
For
Yeah.
example,
in
the
a more
letter.
fortified town.
The
Yeah, that's
we know
really
is-
the big one. Is a more fortified town.
Yeah, like
we don't know the dangers of the road. We don't know what's out there. We gotta figure all this stuff out before we make any rash decisions, companions. It will come back to bite us in the butt.
He will tell you, Ismark will tell you, if you're wanting to know where Strahd resides, you would want Castle Ravenloft.
Never heard of it. Where is that located?
probably the center of Barovia.
He will tell you that it overlooks this very town.
Hmm. Interesting.
So why don't you go up there and have a nice night, and let them know all your complaints, and then report back to us and let us know how that goes.
Hmm. I will consider it. But first things first, I need to finish the audit.
He will look at you. Would you go telling your problems to a vampire overlord?
What is a vampire?
Well, see, now you've ruined the whole point, which was to get them to go do that.
I'm starting to think you guys want me to die.
I'm just gonna
No.
get up and go to one of
We
those.
want you to live as
was
long as
offered.
possible. Rogar's gonna start wandering over and kind of look at the other, I guess the three that were sitting at this table.
More like this table here, but yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those the three Vistani women?
Yes.
Isn't that the woman right there?
No, that's the bartender.
Or... That's
Why
Eric.
what is
The very... It's literally just a cloak of disguise and makes him look like a woman that pulls in the bar patrons.
Okay.
But yeah,
Weird.
like he's just gonna like he's Rogar. This is the first time actually laying eyes on someone who's clearly listed as Bastani. But say after you guys described him, so he's just trying to get kind of a good feel for it.
So yes.
So he just kind of nods at each of them.
You see three women, they're humans, that don't seem to really be paying much attention to the outside their little conversation. And you can kind of catch that they're talking about business here at the bar, almost like they're the owners.
Do I recognize any of them as being a part of that little band of misfits that captured us? Or
No, you
brought us
And they
in?
all have a distinct, like they also have a distinct like style to their clothing and everything, and like how they dress and act, right? So I mean,
Yeah,
even if
very
they're not
colorful.
like the same, like even if they're not like the exact same, like whole group that was in there before, it's still obvious they're the same group. It's like a similar uniform type deal with how they're all kitted out.
Yeah.
Are they the ones who were giving me dirty looks?
No.
Strange.
I mean, when you start loudly complaining about the Vistani in the bar, I mean, it seems like a pretty natural thing to look over at the guy complaining loudly about your people.
No, I was talking about the people who were staring at me on site
No.
Wow, okay.
because I'm Dragonborn.
But as I was saying, what was his name again? The guy in front of me?
Ismark.
Bismarck. I must speak with your father, and I must speak to your sister. But tell me, what is this? And I whisper, vampire you speak of. Is it a race of his, or a condition, or a class? Is it some sort of form of power?
You've never heard of a vampire. Surely wherever you've come from, they have them.
They have tales of them, but I don't know the reality of what we're dealing with. Is it true that they are undead?
Undead, drink blood. Typically can't go out in daylight. However, he will tell you that in Barovia, daylight really isn't a thing. It's more of a suggestion.
Explain further, please. I am very interested.
Though the sun may shine here, it never fully shines bright enough to be considered what stories say daylight is.
Rogar
Is it
just
enough?
kind of grunts from across the bar and goes, "That makes sense. I've been here a week and I haven't seen the sun proper.
So wait.
It's
How do you
it's all
grow your,
overcast all the time."
how do you grow your crops? Without sunlight, you can't grow crops to feed your peasants.
It's not that it's like in pitch blackness all the time. It's just like imagine like a really foggy London, like it's just super overcast all the time. So
Yep.
yeah, it's light outside, but there's like no direct sunlight, right? It's just like there's always clouds or cover or like just muck going around. So like
I-
everything's always like 2 shades darker.
I'm not liking this Brovovia. I'm doing this on purpose, messing up the name.
He just looks at you and goes, "Well, we're not intending to stay, so I don't see that as a problem."
Okay. Well, I've decided to ask your sister and your father questions. This Strahd, what is his, how cruel
Yeah,
is
keep
he?
going.
What crimes has he committed or inflicted upon people? What punishments?
This one time, Rogar just rolls his eyes. He goes, "You can't be accused of crimes if you're in charge of everything. You
That is
make the
true.
rules."
What punishment has he inflicted upon others that has earned him the cruelty title?
He will basically tell you that fear of vampires and zombies and werewolves should be enough.
Oh, so he's responsible for. Hey, Rogar, he's the one responsible for sending all those undead after you. You really ticked him off, Rogar.
Rogar just rolls his eyes. He knows more about necromancy than you do. He
Well,
goes, those are uncontrolled, mindless undead. It's strange that they just show up in general, since usually that requires more dedicated effort, but the entire place is pretty terrible, so I'm not really surprised that everything tries to escape it, including the undead.
yeah,
It is rather problematic in nature, he will tell you.
I bet undead
That's one
aren't
way to
supposed
put
to
it.
be dead or walking. They're supposed to be dead and buried in the ground, not coming after us.
But if
I don't
all,
approve.
but if all horrible things serve the main one horrible thing, how can you hope to make complaints to the one horrible thing?
Well, by pointing out the infrastructure failures. I mean, what is his opinion on criticism, this Strahd?
Those
Is
who
he
I'm sure he takes it real well.
let's
is he the
just
sort is he the sort to listen? Is he the sort to punish you for speaking back, or is he the sort to wave you away
let's just say
and
Yes.
not take you seriously?
let's just say those who speak openly against him tend to disappear.
So then, why are you speaking against him?
He's not doing it openly, you fool. You're the one yelling in the bar.
I am keeping my voice calm. You're the one yelling and throwing things, Rogar.
Rogar just looks at Eric and goes, "I'm going to my room now."
He will hand you a key with an emblazoned 1 on a little piece of paper on the string.
Finally, a bed. I'm assuming that door in the upper right takes me to the upstairs or the back rooms.
Technically, it leads outside, but yes.
Alright, cool. Rogar's just gonna boop.
All right.
Can I also get one of those rooms?
He will
I
hand.
think I've had just about enough.
He will hand you a key with an emblazoned 2 on it.
Alright, where am I going? Do I also need to go out here? Is that where all the rooms are? Out the back?
You basically go out back, and then there's a staircase that leads up to the upper floor.
So I have a question. This vampire, why hasn't he just broken down your doors and taken your sister? Does he need to be invited in, as the legends say?
So the stories tell us.
Turn and look at Molrondir, and I'm like, okay, so I'll give you a boost up the stairs made of firewood here, and then
I got
There's not actually a map for the rooms, but
no, we're just fucking with each other. You're good.
Sure, I'm pretty tall. I can give you a lift.
No offense, but I'd rather give you the lift. You're a bit spiky to be on the bottom here.
Now,
fair. You
the
know.
question I have to ask
Understandable.
Bismarck is: does your father approve of smuggling your sister out of the village of Barovia?
he
I
will.
mean, if he's coming with him.
He will tell you that Ismark will be going with you, but in terms of his father is currently sick.
Oh, if that's the case, maybe I shall come and help aid him. I am a divine healer of Eldenesh and a trained medical individual. If you need, I can look for your father's health and see about healing him if he is afflicted with something.
We shall see, he says pointedly.
I would like to do an insight check when he says that.
Go ahead.
Just 1 second, I'm opening up the sheet. I got an 8. Insight is not my skill.
Yeah,
I'm not really that great about it.
you're
Getting a
not
weird
certain.
feeling. I'm not certain, but I have a bad feeling about this. let us go today. If your father is injured, let us see about healing him this very night, or at least figuring out what he is dealing with.
Unfortunately, I and mine will be spending the night. I don't feel comfortable bringing you in until daylight.
I give you my word as a noble that I will follow guest right and law and be a courteous guest, and I will try to persuade him into letting me stay at the Burgermeister's estate.
I can tell you now it's not going to happen.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rogar actually pops in after Molden Rendir goes upstairs. He kind of hangs behind. He pops back in the door for just a second, looks over the patrons of the bar, and uses his divine sense to see if anybody flags as a problem here before he tries to relax and go upstairs.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me see here. I think I can just do it this way so everybody can see it. It's not a roll or anything. It's just anyone within 60 feet, which looking at it should be the entire bar,
Yeah.
that I can sweep it over.
Yeah.
I'll know if anyone here is a celestial, fiend, or undead.
There are no celestial fiends or undead that you're currently sensing in the bar.
All right, cool. That was all I needed. I just wanted to make sure. Like, if they're behind total cover, it doesn't matter. I can't see it anyway. But like, if I can basically just look over everybody in the bar, I could tell if there were like a specific thing. So that's cool. I needed to make sure they were real people instead of before he just relaxed.
Yep. Oh,
He
yeah.
just shuts the door and back out again.
Yeah, Alana's going to come join you all outside.
What do you mean? We're in our rooms.
Well, in your
Yeah,
rooms.
you know, our
You're
outside.
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
Literally.
She goes and gets her key and goes to her room.
Okay, I thought you were gonna
There you
say
go.
she just wanders into one of our rooms. I'm like, you didn't pay for a room.
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed.
Hmm.
Mainly to piss off Eldenesh.
Now,
Yeah, Dinesh.
and put in
You gotta
all
say it right.
seriousness, I will have to say, I will
Captain
ask,
of people who are of different races can't be together.
No,
I
I don't know
never
about that.
explained my
That's literally his
preferences.
whole thing.
That is my meta-wise thing. But
No, okay. Well, I mean, no
Didn't-
worries. I haven't really gone around doing anything like that yet, so it's not a problem.
yeah, you're in different rooms. I approve.
All right, so yeah, I
I
guess.
silently approve. But point being, I will turn to this man. What will happen if we take your sister away? Given that this Strahd is obsessed with her, how will he react to you and your father for taking away that which he desires?
Hopefully, he
Not
will
like he
leave
can't-
us be and she will be out of his
So, a
threat
tyrant
range.
prince who controls the undead and werewolves will decide to let you be if your sister is away. I feel like the only thing keeping you guys safe is your sister, and if we take her away, you will suffer the consequences for denying him what he desires.
He will look at you over his wine glasses as he downs the last of it and stands. How would you feel if it was your sister being pursued by a vampire? And then he leaves.
My respect for this man just went up. He's willing to
Mm.
die to save his family. I approve. I'm a little sold on it now.
Oh no, the plan's getting worse all the time.
Yeah.
The bartender's going to look at you. Are you intending to sleep down here tonight, or are you wanting a room?
I would like a room under accommodations, please.
All right. And you can see that the three Vistani women have just left out the front door.
Did they follow him?
No.
I will get a room.
All right, so you get a key with an emblazoned 4 on it, and go to your
I'm
room.
minus 5 silver from my
Hoard.
total. No, it's not a hoard. It's like a pittance. I should have gotten more from the noble lady.
Rigor
Sweet
only
Duchess.
actually hasn't. Rigor has a lot of gold right now, but it's mostly because the starting gold is just basically the gold he was transporting as tribute that he still had after he got transported here.
Each of you find
Fine.
yourselves in a room with a window facing out toward the street.
I would like to do some arcane rolls to figure out a way to defend myself against vampire attacks or anything like that from breaking in.
You don't have enough information yet, do you?
Yeah.
You
I was
barely know
told-
about him besides like what he gave you, and that's like
I only know rumors, and I haven't really done a roll on the arcane, how best to protect against vampires.
I mean, I can tell you right now, you don't need to answer the window if somebody knocks on you with the second floor. Like,
Yeah.
like maybe like shut your blinds there and be like, no,
Okay.
there's nobody here.
Don't
I
let
would
the
like to.
vampire in. There you go.
Again, I would like to do an arcane test, figure out the rules and ways of defending against this.
You trying to recall what you remember, basically.
Yeah, try to recall.
You can do either an arcana or a religion check.
I don't have religion yet, so arcana it is. Normal roll. I got a nat 20.
You would think silver, garlic, things like that.
The most common rumors that you've heard,
Yeah.
Okay,
basically.
I would ask the bartender if he has any garlic.
He'll hand you a wreath and
I will put.
say good night.
Thank you.
Rather creepy.
I will put the wreath around the window and the inside of it. I will shut the curtains and I will lock the door.
All right. So as you all are doing that,
Rudar actually takes the time to move his bed in front of the door.
Yeah, I'd do something similar.
as you're moving your bed from outside, coming from this direction toward the church on the map up here, you see a ghostly green light. Do you look out your window?
From next door, all you hear, Mulrundir, is Rogar loudly say, "That is not going to be my problem." And a bang.
Well, if it's not gonna be his problem, I'm certainly not making it mine. So I'm just.
I
Gonna...
mean, I put up the curtain, so I don't really see it. If I knew there was what's going on, I would be concerned. But I put the curtains on, and I was going to go get some sleep after pushing the
I
bed.
mean, can I see the light from my window?
Yes, all of you can if you have your window open.
Can I make some sort of check to determine what it is?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Roll
What would I
me
be doing?
either religion or arcana.
You roll Arcana, I'll roll Religion. Like, he's got to have an idea how bad the problem is, I guess.
All right. So wait, Eldonish, you rolled arcana again?
Can I do it? I put up the curtains. Would I be able to
Oh, wait.
see?
Never mind. They both rolled religion.
My
Amazing.
arcana was regarding the vampire, the magical
So
creature.
both of you can tell that this has something to do with ghosts. But as you watch out the window, an eerie green light suffuses the graveyard. From this light emerges a ghostly procession, wavering images of doughty women toting great swords, woodwise men with slender bows, dwarves with glittering axes, and archaically dressed mages with beards and strange pointed hats. All these and more march from the graveyard, their numbers growing by the second.
What direction are they going? Towards town?
They basically come down this road here and walk through the town and then down this way and out of town. They don't seem to take notice of you or anyone else that might be out in the town. Instead, they seem to have their own agenda that doesn't reflect anything else in the town.
Oh no, I hope they're not going after the Vistani camp where Madame Eva is at.
Rogar just kind of looks north where they all came from, after making a note of all the old weapons and armor and just like how it was. It just looks at it and goes, "Don't ghosts usually?" And he's thinking about it. He's like, have a connection like to their equipment when they died. He's like, I wonder if there's anything left in the graveyards. And then he rolls over and goes, "Nope, not my problem. Not gonna be involved in that. Not fighting ghosts."
You're like, nope, I am not equipped for that.
Is there any kind of like ill intent in their visage? Like, do they look like they're on a mission
Yes.
They seem tough, but they don't really look like they're evil, which is kind of a weird thing. But he's like, I'll take it I can get.
Yeah, they all look like they're set on a personal agenda mission.
The curiosity. The curiosity.
Oh no. You just reach over to one of the ghosts and go, all right, cool. I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead and slap the ghost.
I don't even have Speak with Dead.
He's like, pay attention to me.
You gonna try that,
Hey.
Rogar?
No, I don't have Speak with Dead. I don't even cast spells. I don't know what
Okay.
you're talking about. Magic's a foreign thing.
Uh-huh. Neither does a lot.
If I did have Speak with Dead, I would consider it.
Alright, so after about 20 to 30 minutes, the ghosts all exit the town.
Okay.
I shut my curtains.
Yeah.
I have a -1 to that check and still rolled 19.
Crazy.
Critical.
You got a nat 20.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm not even good at religion, and I'm just like, that is 100% ghost.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Listen, I don't know much, but I do know that is a ghost.
Yeah.
Yep, I can see right through them. That was a lot of ghosts to pull as an example right there.
And you could tell from the position of the moon that it was precisely midnight when you saw this.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to bed, and I've got my bed strapped up against the door to block any entrance.
Yep.
Me
Alright.
too.
So you all rest through the night. And even though this is a relatively short time period, this is where we're going to call it for this week.
Alright.
Yay.
So we will pick up next week where you do more things.
Hopefully. I asked questions. I got some answers.
Some
No one told me about the tax policy. I'm really concerned now.
I mean, it sounds like it's probably a blood tax on it on a lot of it.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you take blood? Now, you can't buy things with blood.
I mean, you can when you're a vampire.
You should be paying people for their blood. That would make sense. That's how you increase the
No.
economy. I'm
You
writing that
pay-
down on the list.
You're
You
gonna
pay
go tell
for
a vampire
blood.
that.
No,
thought
I'm
you
going
paid-
to do it eventually once I'm ready to face him. I got a list of things.
No, go ahead. Go.
You
go
only
tell the
pay for
vampire.
blood as a vampire if you're not in charge. If you're in charge, it's like anything else, right? You stop paying for it and start collecting it.
That is not how economies work.
That's exactly how economies work. But when you've got the
don't
power, you
take
say, this is
things-
mine now.
I don't approve of that. That's not
All right,
the
so
proper way
you
of
go
doing
tell
things.
Strahd that you don't approve of that, and let's see how that goes.
I plan to.
fact-
I plan to
I
write him an
insist-
angry letter.
In fact, you should go down there and go, so I've been reading up on your history, and I don't believe your mother and father would have approved of you existing.
I'm sure that'll go over real swell.
I don't
Yeah.
approve of his existence, but I don't approve of most of his customs and actions.
I reiterate
Oh.
my sentiment about this going well.
Yes.
Yeah. It went better than I expected. I halfway expected this entire village to, like, just be an ambush.
Well, when it wasn't, I expected him to immediately ruin it for us.
Always.
Well, it went better than I
expect the
expected,
worst.
but we'll see.
You all expected the worst of Eldenesh, but he has prevailed. And he is concerned.
Rogar's, like, already thinking, it's like, okay, so the ghosts come out at midnight, which means that's what they're strongest. So he's already worked out the best time to poke around the graveyard and the church out there will be at noon tomorrow when they're at their weakest. Or not there, either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could potentially do that tomorrow. There's a lot
Yep.
of things you all can do next time.
On Dragon Ball Z.
But I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end the stream, so...
The complainer of Strahd's will meet next time. See you all later.
Hey, y'all take it easy.
Yep.
I do the George R. R. Martin approach to things, okay? What was his tax policy?
Invalid.